The Vatican City of Rome is a world-famous religious site that is home to Pope, and its museums include some of the world's most famous artworks, including Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel to ancient Egyptian treasures. However, not all buried treasures are what they appear to be. Archaeologists have made some assertions about Egyptian artifacts that had been on display in Vatican museums for years. So, what terrifying did they find? Is it anything they shouldn't have done? Let's find out in today's video on the unknown fact. The Vatican Museums and Galleries are the art collections of the popes since the beginning of the 15th century. It is comprised of a huge and opulent maze of rooms that are adorned with artistic marvels of incalculable value. 70,000 priceless antiques, of which only 20,000 are currently on display, and a plethora of hidden mysteries concealed within all of its priceless relics. While the Gregorian Egyptian Museum, which is housed at Belvedere Palace and consists of 9 separate chambers, is widely regarded as one of the world's most interesting collections of art galleries. The collection was put together in the room that once served as Pope Pius IV's retreat and dates back to the 16th century. Pope Gregory XVI, who was in power during a period of immense interest in everything Egyptian following the first decipherment of hieroglyphics, is credited with establishing the organization. A voracious need for knowledge served as Pope Gregory's primary motivation. He issued an order that all Egyptian and Egyptianized items that were located in the pontifical state be consolidated into a new museum. The Vatican Egyptian Collection also happens to be a beautifully curated series of rooms in the style of Egyptomania from the 19th century. These rooms feature so many significant artifacts, including stells and coffins, in addition to magnificent statuary from the late Greco-Roman period. These artifacts are all attractively displayed, have adequate lighting, and are intelligently explained. The Gregorian Egyptian Museum in the Vatican Museums is home to a number of remarkable exhibits, including number 1 Anubis in Roman garb. During the period of the Romans, Anubis, the famous Egyptian god of mummification and king of the necropolis, continued to enjoy a high level of popularity. In this exquisite figure made of Parian marble that dates back to the 1st or 2nd century CE, he is even depicted wearing a Roman toga, although a shorter version of the traditional garment. In actuality, during the period of the Romans, the god Anubis was combined with the Roman deity Mercury. This is where he has a miniature sun resting on a crescent moon in between his ears. In his left hand, he is holding the caduceus of Hermes, which was utilized in the Greek-Roman religion to direct the souls. In his right hand, he is holding a sistrum, which was an Egyptian musical instrument, and a rattle associated with Hathor. The statue that was discovered in Anzio at the Pamphige Mansion in 1749 was presented to Pope Benedict XIV as a gift, and it was then moved to the Egyptian Museum when it opened in 1839. The second discovery is the 2 stells for the god Ptah. Ptah, the deity of Memphis who wore a blue cap, is known as the craftsman god. The craftsmanship of these 2 dedication stells, one of which may be found in Memphis and the other in the workman's village of Deir el-Medina, is very remarkable. It was believed that Ptah created the universe by just thinking about it and then speaking it into existence. Ptah was the god of the city of Memphis, which was the capital of Egypt at the time. Many Egyptian kings and queens and commoners were committed to Ptah, seeking his blessing for Ma'at, harmony and balance, across the land, and most surely for life, health, and prosperity. You can see how on the Memphis stele on the right, he is depicted wielding his royal scepter, which is a power sign, while inside his shrine, which is referred to as the White Walls of Memphis, Ptah is regarded as the embodiment and spirit of Memphis in its purest form. Next, stele of Hatshepsut and Thutmosis III, early 18th dynasty. Although it isn't the most attractive thing, it certainly plays a vital role. A sandstone stele that was previously erected at Thebes depicts Hatshepsut and her stepson or nephew during the early stages of their co-regency as being co-rulers. That is, the brief 7 years of governance before Hatshepsut seized full control and the garb of a monarch before assuming the throne herself. In honor of the powerful deity Amun, who was responsible for the restoration and construction efforts, this monument was erected in western Thebes. followed by a youthful Thutmose III wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt. Hatshepsut makes offerings of new vases incense to the gods. Hatshepsut wears the crown of Lower Egypt, which is blue. It appears to have entered the Vatican in the year 1819. The question is, how did such a significant stele end up in Rome? The fourth one on the list is Jedmut's coffin from the 22nd dynasty. It would appear that several Egyptian museums have a Chantress of Amun mummy and coffin from the late period in their possession. The Royal Ontario Museum in Toronto, which is also where I grew up, most surely has one. In point of fact, a great number of the aristocratic ladies who lived in ancient Waset were employed in this capacity at Karnak, where they were responsible for singing and playing music. The mummy and coffin of Jedmut, the Chantress of Amun, can be found in the Vatican Museum. It is particularly impressive because of the traditional yellow coffin style of the 22nd dynasty. In this later period of Egyptian history, an economic crisis led to the downfall of the complex tomb, which led to the rise of the most beautiful coffin art. At the conclusion of the New Kingdom, the workers' town that we now refer to as Deir el-Medina was abandoned, and many of the employees had pivoted their businesses from tomb construction to the production of exquisite coffins, like as the one you see here. It contains all of the gorgeous iconography and protective spells that will keep the departed lady safe on her journey to her glorious afterlife after she has passed away. The coffin that is being displayed here is only the outer coffin. There would have also been an inside casket for the mummified body to be placed in. State of Osiris Antonus, early 2nd century CE, from Tivoli. The stunning statue made of marble shows a man named Antonus. He was a favorite and possibly lover of Emperor Hadrian, but he perished while swimming in the Nile. Hadrian's villa at Tivoli is where the artifact, which has a date range between 131 and 138 CE, was unearthed. Hadrian, who was overcome with grief, decided to deify his gorgeous Antonus and create a syncretic god by combining him with the god of the afterlife, Osiris. Hadrian's affection for his beloved Antonus was so strong that he not only established and named a city in Egypt after her, but he also made an attempt to name a constellation after her. You can see that the statue is posed with its left leg in the traditional attitude of striding forward, which is derived from ancient Egyptian imagery. Nevertheless, the art is obviously Roman because of evidence of its features, Roman dress, and the slightly fey, flowing and relaxed, sloped-back stance. The last discovery is the statue of Queen Tai, usurped by Ramses III for his mother Tuya. This enormous statue was initially fashioned for Amenhotep III's magnificent Queen Tai, 18th dynasty Egypt, and it stood in Qam el-Hetan, his great mortuary temple. Today, it is a prized possession of the Vatican collection and is considered a true treasure. It is without a doubt strikingly similar to the statue of Tai that Dr. Suruzion's team is working diligently to uncover at the Qam el-Hetan site at the present time. During the 19th century, Ramses the Great took it and moved the statue to his funerary temple, known as the Ramesseum. There, it was dedicated to Ramses' own mother Tuya, who was also Seti's wife. On the left-hand side of the statue pillar is a representation of Henutmir, who was Ramses II's sister, but who was once believed to be his daughter. This was all about the Egyptian treasures, but what about the recent treasures found in the Vatican City? This treasure was found after 300 years, so let's see what is its significance. The Holy Staircase has been kept a secret for the past 300 years, and it is currently being guarded by the Vatican. The treasure that is being referred to here is the Holy Staircase. Those who have been initiated will be aware of the common belief that the staircase, which has 28 steps, is the same one that Jesus Christ ascended on his way to his crucifixion. It is also claimed that his blood once stained the 28 marble steps, and as a result, these stairs are regarded as one of the most revered things in the Christian world. Scala Sancta is another name for the stairway that you are currently on. It has been 300 years since the staircase was last seen by members of the general public. Instead, it has been carefully preserved within the innermost chambers of the Vatican. According to reports, there was a requirement for repair work, which has been going on for the past year. The staircase will be made available to the public until June 9, 2019. Before it is covered with wooden planks, visitors will have the opportunity to go closer to the staircase than they have in the previous 300 years. They may even be able to touch it and climb it before it is covered. After the completion of the restoration work, the marble stairs will be covered with heavy wooden boards that are designed to shield them from damage until it is ready to be opened to the public. This process is expected to take around 2 months. Pope Innocent XIII ordered the Scala Sancta to be enclosed in a wooden cover in 1753, and this decision has caused quite a commotion ever since it was announced. According to reports, it was frequented by a large number of believers on a daily basis and was buckling under the weight of an excessive number of visitors. Now that the Scala Sancta has been opened up to guests, there is the opportunity to enjoy more, including the frescoes and other marvels that can be seen in the Vatican. Vatican City is an enclave in Rome on the west bank of the Tiber River. It is the seat of the Roman Catholic Church and an ecclesiastical state. Vatican City is the world's smallest country that is also fully independent. Its walls are from the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, with the exception of St. Peter's Square in the southeast. Only 3 of the 6 entrances are open to the public: the Piazza, the Arch of the Bells on the front of St. Peter's Basilica, and the entrance to the Vatican Museums and Galleries in the north wall. From the 4th century to 1870, the Papal States were led by the Vatican. During this time, the Vatican took control of the land around Rome and became its capital. In 1929, Italy's fascist government signed the Lateran Treaty, which recognized Vatican City's right to be independent. The Pope has sovereignty when he is chosen to be the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. He has full control over the city's government, legislature, and courts. Most of the people who live in Vatican City are priests and nuns, but there are also a few hundred lay people who work in secretarial, domestic, trade, and service jobs. Even so, critics, artists, and tourists from all over the world come to see the Vatican Museums and Galleries, the frescoes by Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel, the frescoes by Pinturicchio in the Borgia apartment, and Raphael's stells. So that was all about the video. Hope you found it informative. Then do subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and press the bell icon for more updates like this.